Oh, I told you I was setting up, huh? I see a couple of comments already on there. How you doing, Julia and Maria? As I had said, I was just waiting to hit the go live button. I had to fill up a new cup of tea and take a pee. You know, of course, can't start a show without taking a pee. What are you doing, Jack? He hopped down now. He sees I'm on talking on here, and so he got up out of his bed off the dash and getting some water. Yeah, I wouldn't try and piss you off or nothing, Captain Marvel. How you doing, Whoopi? I haven't made it up there yet. I haven't made it up to Pueblo since the 17th when I went to the doctors up in Colorado, up in Denver, and met Davio. That's the last time I went through that area. Oh, no, well, we'll wait for you. Evan and Mammoths. Marmots or mammoths? Marmots. Those are giant marmots. Yeah. I bet they're related to the giant sloth, you know? I bet there's a relationship, you know? Hey, Tony. Yeah. And when you watch their show, you can find out who's kissing their butt. Yeah, I was waiting for them. She told somebody to shut up, and it's like, you shut up. You've been on there over 2 hours. Get off of YouTube. That brings up someone suggested I switch to Sunday evenings instead, and come on at 7:00 Sunday evening. You know, and then I expect anybody, if they catch them trying to come on my time, tell them get the hell off the airwaves. I moved my thing later and later because everybody else wanted to do Monday nights. Well, Mammoth starts with an M, and that's Monday Mammoth. So I got he's right here. Well, you can puppet him. Me and the mammoth, two heads are better than one, right, Forrest? Yeah. Well, what do you think, mammoth? Yeah. How's that for a toothpick, man? You could stash a few doobies in them tusks when you go out to a party. You just fill them tusks up with Huli. Sundays are boring. Yeah. I think I'll try and do that. Maybe a little earlier or something, like 6:30 or something, because they like 7. Gypsy's Kiss going on Monday. Yeah, hey, how much would you pay to get a hold of Toby's naked picture? How much would you pay to get a hold of Toby's naked picture? Oh boy, that'd be fun to make a meme with that. Just censor him out with a little Vienna sausage. Hey, how you doing, Joe? Where are you going? You just got here. I would not pay to see it. No, not pay to see it. Pay to get a hold of it. Oh, No, I don't think so. Get the mammoth here. um, yeah, you know the lead searcher question that they had that K Pro asked him and all. You notice that Forrest wanted her to define the lead searcher, the definition of lead searcher to her, and his answer depended on the definition of lead searcher, and her definition of lead searcher wasn't his definition of lead searcher. You know, would have been better. Is there somebody that knows your secret? Is anybody who's closest to figuring out your secret? Not knowing not nothing about the treasure, but the secret. Yeah. Yeah. She said who's closest to the treasure, to finding the treasure chest, and that's not the because if it's not out there, if it's in some vault somewhere or whatever, or in Doug Preston's garage, then nobody's the lead, close to getting it until he has to finish his time on it, hit the end of his rainbow first. I already know I am. He didn't give you the hand of God sign. Jack, I just started streaming and you start whining. Is that nice, Jack, huh? He's demanding. Let me go over here and let him out the door. Hold the phone on the sides. Say hi to Togo. Oh, gotta kick the door. Huh, Togo? Gotta kick the door, huh? You gonna do a kitty cat? You a kitty cat, Togo? Meow. Come on, do a kitty cat. They want to see you do a kitty cat. You know, bark? Bark, Togo. Bark. He's looking at himself. Aren't you, Togo? You gonna bark? Mm-hmm. Scratch your head? Yeah. Yeah. See, he comes over. He's okay. Now I'm gonna bite you. Okay. Hey, CMC. I got some notes of things to talk about, so it's just Jack interrupted me there, wanted out. He'll want back in about 3 minutes because it's minus 1.7 outside. I think it's colder where Joe is. Maybe Mason handshake. No, the hand symbol, the George Washington thing, that's the hand of God thing with the fingers curled up like that. And it makes a Jewish letter, the hand of God come from before, from, it's passed through all the religions, but the hand of God symbol, he's handing, using the hand of God, handing the nation over to the people, in George Washington portrait. And then Forrest Fenn in Too Far to Walk, and when you're talking about Bella in the drawing, he's got that hand symbol again. It's his left hand doing it, and the right hand's on the tape. He's got the left hand doing this, and the right hand is at a fist on the table, and that means he's holding on to it. He's holding on to the money. He's giving it to you, but he's holding on to the money. And anybody else got a picture like that? with yourself and Forrest doing that to you, you might be able to buck my claim. But no, you don't have Forrest giving you the hand of God sign and doffing his hat. Yeah, so lead searcher, or like Forrest told me, and Tom Hardy heard him tell me when I said, "Oh, Forrest, I think there's a third party," and he said, "There sure is." So that's what you want to. Forrest, is there a third party? That's the question. Well, but when I say I didn't say, I told my that's just what I think, and he gave me an answer to what I think. That I was correct. And then he talks about how deep is a hole, and you got where warm waters halts, and stuff like that. And I say where warm waters halt is the world's deepest hot spring, at the bottom of the world's deepest hot spring, 1,000 feet down. Then he said, "Are you threatening?" Yeah, that's what he said. Are you He said, "Are you threatening me?" twice while he's poking his finger in my chest. It's like, how do I invoke this kind of response? Because we all know he says two may keep a secret if one of them's dead. And the only person that's going to be a threat to him is the person that knows his secret. Then you're a threat. Because then either that means there can only be one that knows a secret. And when he said two can keep a secret if one of them's dead, that's because the other guy was already dead. He died in 1991. His name was Leo Salazar. And he knew the location of where Moses received the 10 Commandments. And that's the special place. And a lot of people do go there. And you could take a picture there and show it to, and he would know that you were in the right place, but you didn't see Moses, so you don't win. You had to see Moses, and I've been publishing a picture of Moses for a couple of years now. Okay, yeah, the third party knows his secret. And there was Eric Johnson is it is what it is guy with the two pairs of glasses. This guy, he did like 4 videos all about how something ties to Howard Hughes. How this is or the flat tires in Yellowstone on the government car. Now, if they were in a government car, I don't think Howard Hughes would be driving a government car. He'd have had a private vehicle, But if you look at those drawings, that look more like Bush. This guy out of the crazy hospital. Who? Jacob? You did? What are you in there for? You get divorced or something? So, but okay, if it is Howard Hughes, remember that Howard Hughes, there was a guy that claimed to have given Howard Hughes a ride. He was hitchhiking out in the desert, or laying on the side of the road or something, and he stopped and gave Howard Hughes a ride into Vegas. And he claimed he had a copy of Howard Hughes' will that Howard was leaving him 1/16 of his estate, which would have been millions of dollars. And I think he didn't get anywhere with that in court. I don't remember if Howard had family or what, but if Forrest is hinting at this is like you're the guy that picked him up. Well, he was laying on the side of the road and gave him a ride, like that story up in Wyoming where his brother left him out on the road. Okay, so your guy comes up and gives him a ride, and he leaves you a big chunk of his estate, or a nice chunk of it. um, yeah, and then there's he says where warm waters halt. I was on that. I started on this before Jack disturbed me. Okay, the where warm waters halt, and it's the bottom of Pagosa Springs. It's over 1,000 feet deep. The remote viewer people said the remote viewer girl said 2,000 feet. So it could be because when they measured it, they ran out of string at 1,002 feet or something like that. It's just a foot or two over 1,000 feet is where they ran out of line to drop in the water, or they probably dipped the stick it was on in there a couple feet. So, but and you got the Axe Man. I'm the Axe. Forrest told Bill Sullivan, Seattle Sullivan, that I was good with an axe, and yeah, or he's pretty good with an axe, or pretty good at swinging an axe, something like that. And I was trying to, I didn't do a bunch of chopping wood or anything, you know. And Seattle Sullivan thought that meant I was an axe murderer, but it refers to the last picture in the book, the last drawing in the book. And okay, we're still back on where warm waters halt, and the bottom of when you throw your sinker in, right? Okay, if you go to a wishing well, or the Axe Man, he's looking up at the stars, right? He's wishing upon a star or looking at the bird on the moon. So we know that Forrest put the treasure on the moon. It's where you can't get to it. It's someplace you can't get to it. X, EX, and X. Yeah, well, the axe guy, what he's saying is Forrest was telling him, I'm the guy with the axe in the back of the book that cleared the forest and got it all figured out. So, but anyhow, he's wishing upon a star. And there's the other thing. How deep is a hole? Okay, the Pagosa Springs, the hole is over 1,000 feet deep. Well, the story about wishing wells is very old. You know, back 1,000 years ago, 2,000, 3,000 years ago, they had a well, and they'd lower a bucket down in the well, and they'd pull water up out of the well, and you know, they drink. That's their drinking water. They didn't have water filters like we do. Yeah, or I don't know if they had water filters. Usually they made beer with the water to sterilize it. But anyhow, it was good luck to throw a coin down in the well to please the spirits at the bottom of the well. How deep is a hole? And I made a little GIF I made on my on Giphy.com. I'm Clovis Man. One word, Clovis Man is my Giphy, then / // Clovis Man. And I got GIFs. I can get it on the screen. There it is. There it is. Bigger. Ooh. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Where'd it go? Boom. There. So I made this. So how deep is a hole? Where does the water halt? Where does the coin halt? The coin halts at the bottom of the well. Yeah, he did his thumb. No. How deep is the hole? And I'll let you watch that a little bit. So the spirits are down at the bottom of the well. How many spirits are down there, you know? But the thing was, they throw their coins down in the well. What was that? What was what? The coin? He's tossing a coin into the well. Make a wish. Like Jiminy Cricket, when you wish upon a star, all your dreams come true. You know? Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, that's on Giphy. And hit the button, turn around, come back. So yeah, but so anyhow, when you drink that water without filters and all that stuff, it might be a rat that fell down in the well and it's floating down there in the water, and you go home and drink it. Oh, you know. But anyhow, you've heard of colloidal silver and the miracles that works, and we know they make the plumbing pipes for your water in your house out of copper because these metals kill germs and stuff. And so when you're putting all these coins down at the bottom of the well, you're getting they're drinking colloidal silver, basically, you know. So it's good. It was good luck to toss a coin down the well, you know. There's a well at the Vatican. I guess they once a day they close it off for an hour while they clean all the coins out of it, and they get like 600 pounds a day or something of coins. But most give them a zinc penny. 12 feet, 1,200 feet is what my math came up with. Perfect. Good health. Yeah, it was good health to throw a coin down in the well. Well, you know, how'd they know? You know, because you put all that copper and silver in the bottom of the well, it's going to neutralize germs. Hole is as deep as the dirt that came out of it. Okay. Yeah, they would have been wise to put a cover over their wells when they weren't being used. Keep animals out of the well. Eureka principle. But if you ever say, I watch a guy, Aqua Chigger, he has a YouTube channel, and he goes exploring metal detecting, and he'll find a well and drop his camera down into the well to see how deep it is, you know, where the water halts at the bottom. You drop the camera down there, and you see they dig out this hole, you know, maybe 30 feet down in the ground, 30, 40, whatever, and then they have the thing lined with rocks that have been there for the last 150, 200 years, whatever, you know. They were stonemasons and stuff. And how many like ice cream, you know? It's worth the cold stone, you know, worth the cold stones. And the other cold is the cold shoulder, because you've found his blaze and been brave in the wood and all that stuff, but you don't get the treasure until after he passes away. And then it's in a will, or like my friend said, it could be in a trust. So one of the two. And yeah, if it's in a will, then it goes to probate, right? But as long as his family doesn't contest anything, it's yours, you know? He's probably got agreements with all of them. You're not going to bother whoever this goes to. You know, who knows? But it could be more than a lot more. What the extra thing in the treasure chest might be is something that would not fit in there. Maybe much greater. Oh yeah, Fred doesn't like me. Didn't want to stir the pot. Yeah, yeah. She said, "Oh, we support all YouTube, all Fenn YouTubers." Her and Mike support all of the YouTube Fenn people, and it's like bullshit. What a lie, cow prophet. Yeah, yeah, and after I have the treasure, Dobie, Shelley, K-Pro, Mike, a whole bunch of them are going to crawl back in the hole they came from. And there was another, Forrest. It doesn't matter who you are; it matters who they think you are, right? And there, I was watching a stories about the history of like fairy tales and stuff. That's where I was watching a thing about the well, and then that led to this guy's channel. He talked about ancient folklore, fairy tales, and let's see. Yeah, I heard you talking to the dummies. I knew who that was, because they ain't got a clue. But you made me forget what I was saying. Jeez. I was talking about the fairy tales, because the story about the wishing well. The guy had other stories about Jack and the Beanstalk and Rumpelstiltskin. Okay, so if you look up the Rumpelstiltskin thing on this guy's channel, this is Solo is part of his channel name, something Solo. If I do my history, I can find it on. But he did one about Rumpelstiltskin, and it turns out there are several parallel stories to Rumpelstiltskin was reused over and over, just like Jesus. Horus and all that, virgin birth and all that goes way back. Jesus wasn't the first God born to a virgin. And where is it? I subscribe to the guy's channel now. There it is. No, that's an astronomy guy. I watch stuff about astronomy and stars, and astronomy isn't astrology. Astrology is the zodiac and all that. John Solo, JONSOLO. And I watched the story about Pinocchio and all that stuff. But the story about the video he had about Rumpelstiltskin, he said, and this involves two girls, one named Biddy and the other one Sally. So Biddy and Sally, the story of Biddy and Sally. It's like, but the story is the rival Kempers, RIVALKEMPERS. They were Kempers. They, I guess they weaved hemp. Yeah, they weave straw or whatever with their looms, or not their looms, their spinning wheels, and because Rumpelstiltskin, there was a story, about making gold out of straw and stuff like that. but this is an Irish story called The Rival Kempers. And so, he said in the story it was two girls named Biddy and Sally, right? And I went and looked up the actual story and found the story on there, and it was Biddy Corrigan and Sally Gorman. I was like, oh, great. A relative. So that's the trivial fountain in Rome, not the Vatican, clean every night and the money given to needy. Yeah. I think, the video might have told you, you get different information from different sources. And Jack's at the door. He's scratching at the door. Whoop, let me get this. Look at Jack. Back up. Over to the door. Over to the door. This is my Flight for Life shirt I got at a Goodwill. For $1. You gotta have Jack won't come in unless he's got a treat. But this thing's so huge, I snap off a piece because he'll come in for 5 minutes and want back out so that he can come back in again and again and again and get a treat every time. Come on, Jack. Let's show him the treat. Come on. You can come in. Come on in, Jack. Come on. Come on. Come on, get your treat. Want to smell it? Come on. You come in. Come on, Jack. You're letting cold air in. That's why I closed the door. He didn't come in. He wouldn't come in for the treat. He's like, I gotta come in, you're gonna close the door. And it's like -2 outside, and standing there with the door open, and the temperature in here drops really fast when you leave the door on the RV open. I need to leave a magnet over here so that I can just mount the phone right there while I try and let him in the door. Right on the back of my paper towel dispenser. Let's see if we can get him in to come in again. Come on, Jack. Come on. Come on. Come on, Jack. Come on. Hey, come on. Come on. There you go. Got him in. Oh, you cost me some propane there, Jack. I was watching them cow and poo, and now my legs are frozen. Cabin in the Woods hunts. You can see the heat rolling. Yeah, I know. My thermometer won't show it. It still says 70 inside and -3.8 outside. And wind is 2.7 miles an hour. So at least it's not windy. Yeah, go lay down, Jack. Some people suggest that Forrest is paying some of the YouTubers are getting paid by Forrest, or the bloggers are paid by Forrest, and I think the only person Forrest probably paying is Dale. Dale's probably the only one he's paying, because Dale's handling those scrapbooks, and he's his almost like web administrator for Forrest, but Dale still runs it. It's Dale's site, but and because if Forrest had a say, Forrest wouldn't have let him delete all those votes on the T-shirts. People voting for my shirt and Dale deleting them. Yeah, no, they don't know enough. The thing is, when it's over, say I end up with the treasure, all them people are going to crawl back in their holes and we'll never see them again. 2 cents once. I gave him a nickel, 1930 Buffalo nickel. So yeah, there's a story. Yeah, Biddy Corrigan and Sally Gorman, the rival Kempers. That's what, we're all rivals, kind of, There's a lot of rivalry, and there's, occasionally somebody will comment on a video of mine that's 2 years old or so, and I go, what are they talking about? Way back. And they think they're looking at current stuff. There are people that see my video of searching up near Salida and stuff, and they think that's my search area. That's not my search area. I get that. I've excluded that. It was beautiful and all that, and I had a lot of fun swimming in the Arkansas River. I'm swimming in the river and the rafters are going by, but I'm standing there. I had a wetsuit on, and the only trouble I had was I was in the river too long. My feet got soggy and tore quarter-sized chunk of skin off my big toe that still ain't healing up right. You missed 35 minutes. Oh, because it's yeah. There's some good stuff on there, Jack. I try to come on after they cut off, but I'm probably going to switch to go to Sunday night and take 6:30, 7 o'clock Sunday night, or I'll put it between 6 and 7 somewhere there. I'll start between 6 and 7 Sundays. Yeah. So the Sunday evening gas. Yeah, grandpas are so smart. Yeah. What about Tuesday night? There's no one on then. Someone was. Now Sunday's a weekend. The weekend people don't schedule on the weekends and stuff. Pretty much home on Sunday nights. Other nights I could have doctor appointments in Denver and not be home, or weekdays I might be traveling on weekdays. I just mailed the Christmas gift for the two teenage granddaughters, and I just mailed them their Christmas gift. They got more for waiting than they would have otherwise. But I still got my son and his wife's Christmas gift in a box in my car. With Goldilocks and 3 bears. Yeah. You rarely hear of mountain lions attacking people. It's rare. They like the rabbits and the marmots, but if they're going to eat people, they like the little ones. They like little people, the kids. So if you're out there with your kids, be very careful. Keep an eye on them. And best, if you got kids, bring a dog too, because your dog is going to go running after that cat or the bear and stuff and give you time to get your gun out to shoot the bear or cat. Hopefully don't shoot your pet too. you know, but it's better than losing a family member. You'd be a little kid getting eaten by the mountain lion. Yeah, mountain lions don't like. They don't like big. It's like alligators. They like little kids, little dogs, little animals. Um, People up at the country club up in Mount Vernon Country Club. A friend of mine is maintenance there. Ain't talked to him for a long time because he doesn't return phone calls, you know. But anyhow, they had a mountain lion that was killing people's pets. So people let their pet out to go to the bathroom, and the mountain lion was killing the pets and eating some of them, leaving some of them, you know. And they knew that the mountain lion was missing a tooth, so they called him Snaggletooth, and they trapped that mountain lion and put it to sleep. They just put 2 or 3 mountain lions to sleep. I think it's in New Mexico, because they found them feeding on a on somebody that had died or something. That was missing, you know. They found them feeding on human remains, and so they put them to sleep because they don't want them to, you know, think that humans are food. They want to get rid of mountain lions that enjoy eating humans. The bigger the gator. But anyhow, when they were looking for this mountain lion, the one mountain lion, they had done a survey of a 10 square mile area up there, just 10 square miles. That's like 3.5 miles by 3.5 miles square, you know. And they found 60 mountain lions in that area. So there's a lot of mountain lions out there. They just don't. Humans are too big to mess with. Yeah, same as grizz. If grizz hangs out around human camps, they tend to move far away. Yeah. Oompa Loompa. You're not an Oompa Loompa. I like my coin flipping thing. Yeah. Anybody new here didn't see the coin flipper? Yep. Push the button, turn around. It doesn't turn around. Oh, this new phone. Laugh. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, you want to look up read the story about the rival Kempers. It's pretty neat. And then Forrest, a Fenn Fenn is a place it's just Fen, but it's in England, and it's a muddy bog. It's an area. It's like a delta area where they put up levees and they pump the water out. It's actually below sea level. So the Fenn is a muddy bog below sea level, kind of, but it doesn't have to be. It's just a muddy bog is all what they call it. Oh, and they brought up they were misquoting about the Homer Brown. You know, the guy said that Forrest said if you're at the Homer Brown, you could go straight to it, like it's right there at the Homer Brown. You know, and Forrest is being facetious. You don't know when he's telling when he's playing with you or what, you know. He was saying he's just being sarcastic. That would be a better time. What Sundays? Yeah. Earlier on Sundays. Hey, Billy, here's Forrest Fenn. when you're talking about Atlantis in your quotes video. Yeah, and that thing with the rocks. Let's see. Good. I finished my virus scan on my computer. I got to redo this computer real soon. But I can, because I can't open my videos with media player anymore. That media player doesn't open anymore. My paint program's real slow, and it's deteriorating the computer. So I got to reinstall I got to back up what I have and reinstall the original software. Yeah, that's it. That'll work. I can play that. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. There.
Watch with glaring eyes the whole world around you, because the greatest secrets are always hidden in the most unlikely places. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it. If you are sure about the location of the home ground, why are you concerned about where warm waters hold? But to answer your question, sure you could, and a few searchers might throw in some gas money for a percentage of the take.
Now, when you see this figure is doing this one. Only this one does the Forrest Fenn quotes. All the other quotes are somebody else. All the other ones are somebody else. And look right down here. I can zoom in. There looks like writing right here, and that's something the art got out of the rocks. The AI seen something, and it almost says Forrest. That's what I kind of see. Here, I'll start over. Start.
Fantasy mirrors desire, imagination reshapes it.
I don't like formal gardens. I like wild nature. It's just the wilderness instinct in me, I guess. The crown of life. Our play's last act.
If I lied to the reporter, what makes you think I would tell you the truth?
If you can dream it, you can do it.
Atlantis had lots of elements, and the plains had plenty of grasses to feed them all.
That's Plato.
Fantasy and reality often overlap.
You know you are truly alive when you're living among lions.
The more you leave out, the more you highlight what you leave in. The best secrets are the most twisted.
Each man lives in his own universe, and when he dies, the world is over. When you're curious, you find lots of interesting things to do, and one thing it takes to accomplish something is courage.
The lead searcher knows where these guys live.
The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge.
Old age is like a plane flying through a storm. Once you're aboard, there's nothing you can do. Sometimes the most scenic roads in life are the detours you didn't mean to.
Now, I want to point out some things on this guy here, because he's really cool. I know exactly where he's at. You see, because he's got, there's an eye, there's the other eye, his mouth, obviously. And here's his shoulder and his arm here. And here's his other arm. And look, he's holding the sword. This is his sword. Let's see, it's got a point on it and stuff. And then there's another guy on his chest. You see, there's a profile of a guy here. There's the eye, the mouth. There's a head right there. There's another guy on his chest. You know, it's just Woo, whoa, this thing just went like 40 questions just spun by. Very probable. Dale deserve Forrest. Yeah. Oh, how come it went way up to the top? Where's Meathead? Meathead. It's Archie Bunker. Hawaiian Lava. No, that's the art program that put the red in there. It decided, you know, the thing I used had some red in it, and so it kind of put it in some of the darker areas. Tends to kind of blah.
Whoever finds the treasure will mostly earn it with their imagination.
See, now the imagination. Well, this is what the imagination he's talking about. Seeing this stuff in the rocks that nobody else saw. They went right by it. They didn't see it. It was right there in front of them.
Adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams.
When Atlantis is discovered, it will be the greatest discovery of all time.
That's from a Discovery show.
Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes.
Oh, the places you'll go. Adventure is worthwhile. All your dreams come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Jobs fill your pockets, but adventures fill your soul. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and to see if I could learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I don't like to repeat successes. I like to go on to other things.
That's Forrest.
The continent had an island which lay before the Great Flood in the area we now call the Atlantic Ocean. So great an area of land that from
This is from Donovan's Atlantis.
Sailors journeyed to the South and North Americas with ease in their ships with painted sails. To the east, Africa was a neighbor across a short strait of sea miles. The great Egyptian age is but a remnant of the Atlantean culture.
That was from the Atlantis, Donovan.
Treasures they will not know for sure that they have discovered the first clue.
Our happiest moments as tourists always seem to come when we stumble upon the thing, well, in pursuit of something else.
Your mind doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy. Your mind acts on what you feed it. Feed it good thoughts.
I want to be where the sun warms.
This is older than Egypt. There's no hieroglyphs here.
For the blaze of
No hieroglyphs here. It's older than Egypt. Hieroglyphs weren't invented.
Atlantis is not just an island, it's a continent.
On their deathbed, men will speak true, they say. When all is said and done, everyone should be able to look back on their life and know that they made it exactly as they wanted it to be. The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page.
You can't start in the middle of the poem and find the treasure. It would be a miracle if somebody did.
I'm the miracle
Someone
man.
told me I lived in a fantasy land. I nearly fell off my unicorn.
I like that. That's funny. That's my. All right, come on, turn around, turn around. This is my favorite part there. Someone told me I lived in a fantasy world. Oh, okay. Should be charging fine right now. Okay. It's 85%. I'm not having any trouble. I'm plugged in. It keeps charging screen keeps coming on. I don't know why. There's a killer cable I have on it. They say, yeah. Somebody told me I lived in a fantasy world and I almost fell off my unicorn. Yeah, Togo, my parrot, he does R2D2. Yeah. I don't do impersonations too well, I don't think. They say that recognizing faces starts in faces can distinguish faces, especially twins, triplets, and stuff like that. They probably recognize butts too. I remember that butt from the womb. What else? Yeah, twins, I'm sure. Okay, so I was talking about the when Forrest was doing an interview, and the person was real pushy. So if I know where the Homer Brown is, with that, then you can go straight to it. He was just joking. He was joking. It doesn't don't know where the Homer Brown is. Only it puts you in the neighborhood. That's about it. Because the Homer Brown is 20 miles from where warm waters halt. And the other stuff is even further. Some people, I haven't tried not to do my whole thing in one video, my whole solution in one video. That's why nobody's watched enough of my videos to know the whole solution. But the thing is, it's pretty much already over, you know. The only day in the neighborhood, yeah. That's not Captain Ruts. He gave my ancestors a bad name, Mr. Rogers. Oh. I got the one with the Mr. Rogers doing the double blazes, you know. I made one of them a cartoon. I bet Festus might recognize a head. Yeah. There's some of it's, you know, there's a guy with his head and his chest is another face, you know. Yeah, that battle. I don't know if Festus ever had one. You upload a lot of it. Yeah. Yeah, there's 206 videos on my channel. And I went way back, was looking at some of the first ones that, like, one of the early ones on there is the Holcroft Covenant thing, is a New World Order video that I made at the University of Oregon in digital arts class, and I got thrown out. I got thrown out of my final exam for my video. You know you made a good video if it pissed off the teacher. Yeah, I want you to leave now. Whoa. They had Bush and Clinton both say, we need a new world order. A one world bank. Money in my foundation. Now, him I might be able to impersonate. Yeah. Well, one of the rock formations I found was like this, you know, and when you turn it upside down, it was the cow udders. That's cow udders. That's not too middle, you know, and because there were two, I called it double blazes, you know, but it turns out the gypsies are at one end and the stout-hearted men are at the other end, and all these other blazes are in between. As he said, my father's been busy lighting candles, some of them at both ends. If some is, how many is some? Okay. And those some each have two flames, two blazes on each of the sum. But the sum is the lesser of the whole. So most of them are single blazes. Some are double blazes, but there's more single blazes than there are double blazes. That's how that works, you know. And Forrest says, so you found it, but there's 40 of them, right? Yeah, there's more than 40. There's 1,000 of them. There's 1,000,000 of them. Oh my. Sulu voice. Sulu. Oh my. Yes, Captain. Long ago, on a planet far, far away, a man named Forrest Fenn hid a treasure. The Ewoks took it. Bigfoot took it. Yeah, that's gonna be a great day when all them other channels, when those guys crawl back in their hole, you know, they'll crawl back in their hole, and then the networks, you know, I say, heck with you guys, the network's gonna pay me to show it to them. I got something I can charge to see now, you know. It's been abducted. Yeah. They're supposed to keep that stuff in Vegas anyhow. What are they doing? Spilling it out all over YouTube. This here, right there, that's the Stargate. That's one of my pictures. It was no, I'll take you over to it. Take you to it. So it's it's by the University of Oregon, by the park. It was right by where I had my RV. I had a permit to camp right there, right by this arch. I call it a Stargate. and there's a bridge, and you go through the arch and over the bridge. There's a bridge behind the arch. No, this one's me. This is my sister over there, my little brother, and my brother Bruce there, and my mother. So there's this guy. I found him in the woods. A friend of Forrest said, "Hey, can you get that? Drag that out of there and get? It's like it's a whole tree, you know. I don't have a chainsaw, but I know where he is. I put the eyeballs on him." There's the World Trade Centers before that's a 1987 picture. There's the Route 66. Come on, where is this no reflection? That's in Winslow, Arizona. There's the gypsies. They're backwards though on there. Okay, back to straight. Plug this in. Boop, boop, boop. That looks like a rat thing. Creature. Oh, that's Jesus there. Did I stop? Yeah, that's what he just said that, like that last one.
When someone told me I lived in a fantasy land, I nearly fell off my unicorn.
I guess I hit the button and turned it around. Okay, hit the button 3 times to turn it around. Or hit twice and it goes right back where it was. Yeah, I was gonna dig up some more quotes because I made a file folder with just the big faces, and I had 155 different faces that I can use in these videos from the rocks. So, and really I can zoom in on some. I got thousands of my other ones that you just zoom in take individual characters and out of the rocks. I saw the Doobie Bro. You did? Yeah. I hung out at there. A friend of mine took me to where they play up in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Is this place way up on top of the hill in the driveway, and there's 200-300 foot redwoods all over the place, and it was like a loop around the house. The driveway went around the house, and we went up there and went out to the beach and record. What's one of the early videos on my YouTube that is this friend of mine playing guitar out of Santa Cruz in 1989. Now he's a guitar master at Capitol Records, but he pretends he doesn't know me anymore because he's a never Trumper. Yeah, we're warm waters halt at birth. When you're born and when you die, your blood stops pumping. Your blood is your warm water. When it halts, that's the end. That's the end of the rainbow. Thursday, what's Thursday? Yeah, bird. Be with my brother once. That's all? The only one? Did you inhale, J.A.? And if anybody ever inhaled, you can't say nothing bad about it. Yeah, I just got an invitation thing for they're doing some study on cancer and exercise. So I go to it. And what you just want to know what kind of exercise I get with my cancer or what, And I got my primary care doctor doesn't believe my cancer doctor. What it's like, you better believe my cancer doctor because she's helped me. I feel better since I've been going there all around, and I'm functioning better. My weight's going down where it should, to where closer, it keeps dropping closer and closer to where it should be because she doing something right, at least. And my primary care is they want to take away the medication. Well, it proved to me that this is, ill effect on me. Prove there's some ill effect from taking that medication because it's helping me. The quinine, my legs used to be like steel rails and stuff. They were always, they call it rigid. My muscles were rigid and cramp. I'd get cramps in bed all the time because I got nerves that are going ding, ding, ding. I got fasciculations. My legs, you can see it's like somebody poking your fingers in your calf, because the little muscles are doing that in my legs. And without that, I get really bad cramps in my legs and stuff. That's a plus. So I take the hydrochloroquine. They gave it to me because they said I had lupus. And then this doctor, you don't have, one says you got lupus, the other one says you don't, and then you got blood Well, the blood tests show that my blood cells are morphed and stuff, and I have too many of them, and that's why the cancer doctors, this is blood cancer, and it's because of bone marrow and all that, and my primary care is like, well, I'm going to cancel all of that, and I'm like, you go ahead and try, and I'm going to, I'll just call the VA and tell them I need a better doctor. Yeah, cancer and exercise study, 6 volunteers. I wonder if I get paid for it. Or you know, I don't want to put me on a treadmill. Have me go climb a hill looking for the treasure, you know? Wear a monitor or whatever. Eat bee pollen, bee pollen. Yeah. I got rocks in my water to help that. And don't know if that's, you know, I've been drinking that. It's called shungite water. It's from special carbon crystals coming from Russia, from a space rock. Buckyballs. Yeah, makes buckyballs in the water. Yeah. I was looking at one friend. His video titled was that his mini balls were frozen. Those are Civil War bullets. he goes, metal detecting, right? And my mini balls are frozen. My great grandfather got shot with it's a 58 caliber mini ball, went through his left shoulder, all the way across, and came out his right shoulder. But it broke his left arm, went through his left shoulder, and came out through his right shoulder blade with a 58 caliber going, and missed the windpipe. You know, it missed the arteries and all the critical stuff, and went right through him. And he spent a year in the hospital, survived gangrene, and lived to be 86, I think, 86 or 89. Christopher Darius Gorman, and he was in the Wisconsin 8th Infantry, served with the Screaming Eagle. Yeah, he survived. He spent a year in. They didn't find him until 3 days later. A general come by on a horse, and the general says, "If you give me your hand, soldier, I'll help you up." And he says, my great grandfather says, "Go to hell, I'll get myself up." You know, because if you got shot through both shoulders, is "Don't touch me." I'll get myself up on my own time. Don't touch me. I'll kill you. Yeah, Sally Gorman in Biddy, Corrigan. You gotta look up that story. Oh, this shoulder, they operated on this shoulder last April. Oh, and it sounds like a bunch of rocks in there. They're gonna have to give me a freaking metal socket or something on there. Yeah, this shoulder, they cut a bicep tendon. And they ground off some bone spurs, but they didn't get the one that's going click, clock, click. And I've got to call and see what's up with because my doctor referred me for this, for the ENT for my sinuses. You don't want to see what it looks like when I blow my nose, man. But yeah, it's been bloody for the last 2 months. And the VA is taking their sweet ass time. But this guy, I don't know if it's just active military that can, from Army and stuff, Navy, you know, from the Army, or if it's VA too. But now you can sue the government for malpractice. It was just started this year. Happy New Year too, everybody. Apple cider vinegar. Well, yeah. I've heard that one about Dickens brand cider, or Dickens cider. At the end, if you turn a good body, I will very disappointed. if you turn in a good body. I actually went to search one day, and there was a body in the river. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yeah. It's I'll be 62 the end of March, the last day of March. I wasn't gonna be an April Fool. I'd done my time in the womb. and it was I was born on my mother's birthday. I was her most expensive birthday present. She told me one day, she says, I've never had an expensive birthday present like that. I said, oh yeah, I was your most expensive birthday present. They've got her out. There was a girl, there's a rock that a lot of people stop and go out on this rock and watch the river, the raging river under the rock. And she got to, the rock isn't even on top. And she walked out there and I guess tripped on the rock and poop into that cauldron of water. And it took, I think it was about a week before they got her out of there. I showed him, I had a drone video of the same thing when the water was low that showed where the log jams and the tight spots were. And it was a 360 drone video. And they were, and right after I gave them that video, the next day they pulled her out because they knew where to look for her then. And it was probably a log jam. It was just a little bit, just not far down the river from where she fell in. She was like 37. And she wasn't looking for the treasure. You don't have to be, you can die just pulling off the side of the road to go look at the river. You don't have to be looking for treasure. All you have to do is you be clumsy. I was wondering, how many people were there when she fell in, or was she pushed in, or somebody wise ass joking around and oops, shit. You don't screw around in those kind of places. Do not screw around near the edge of a cliff or where you'd fall in a cauldron of water. Yeah. And the thing is, right where she went in, I had hidden, is right at that spot where you park and you walk out on the rock. And underneath the rocks, kind of under there where you park, I had stuff there's a little Tupperware with some rubber frogs and arrowheads. I put the arrowheads in. I took the gold frog out and put the arrowheads in there. And so yeah, I gotta go back this spring after the snow melts. I'll go look. But there's more snow so far. There's more snow in December than there was the year before, last year. Because I remember last year I was able to go up and hunt until middle of December. This year, December was all snowed in up there. Too dangerous. Yep. Oh, sorry about the cold. It's, what is it? It's minus 2.6 now, and it's still 67 in here. I got my little round heater I had that made noise. That thing quit work. The thermocouple quit working. But that thing was like $40 when I got it. And I went back to get another one of those at the store. and they were 79 or 69 dollars now. So they went up, like 80-90% increase in the price of them, because people would get the warranty and have to return them. They bring them back and exchange them for a new one, because the thermocouple burns out on them. And well, the store would be better off. I found, when I was searching for heaters on the internet, I found the thermocouples for them. You could buy the thermocouple for $8. So I ordered 2 thermocouples to fix that one. Meanwhile, this Buddy heater, it's like a $125 heater with 2 burners on it, and it'll keep it up in the 60s when it's 0 outside. 33 over 71, yeah, 60s, 67.1 inside here. And when I had to go to my post office to get my mail prescriptions, they come in. I got a sign for Lyrica for my neuropathy, and I had more thyroid medicine show up. The thing is, at the end of this month, that's when you want to watch. You want to see me get out of balance, because my thyroid medicine, they're gonna after I do the I have an ultrasound the end of this month in Colorado Springs, and after that, the doctor's gonna tell me to stop taking my thyroid medicine for 6 weeks, and then they're gonna do a radiation scan. And the little thermocouple got a wire that goes out into the tip, and it's got a metal line, and it's got an insulated one, and they go to 2 different spots on the machine. But after I go in and do my ultrasound of my thyroid at the end of, they're going to tell me to stop taking the thyroid medicine for 6 weeks, and then they're going to have me come in for a radiation scan, and I got to drink the radioactive cocktail. I've done it twice before, and then they scan. They do it's another machine, and they scan the thyroid with that, and I should tell them, hey, why just do the thyroid? Do the whole body. Make sure there's no, check everything. So I had one of those. So that's I've had the radioactive sauce 3 times so far. This will be 4th time. But anyhow, for the 6 weeks that you don't take the thyroid medicine, it's like decisions and things like that. I was an electrician and wired temperature control panels and vacuum chamber control panels and stuff like that. I worked at a place, we made vacuum furnaces. It's like they got this big old steel chamber, and it's all lined with graphite and heater panels and stuff, and they heat the inside of that thing up to make it like a spaceship re-entering 3,000 degrees, and you have to look through smoke glass. You look in there, look through smoke glass inside it, because it's glowing like the sun, and glowing like the sun inside. And but I made the controls that suck the air out, turn the heaters on, and the cooling but these big steel vacuum chambers, they got a water jacket all the way around, and water jackets in the doors and everything. They're all water cooled, high temperature vacuum chambers, and they test space shuttle tiles and that kind of shit in them. And yeah, so I was, when they took me off my thyroid medicine, I was cutting the wrong wires, and 3 times I cut the wrong. Damn it, cut the wrong one. Got to run that one again. Damn it, cut the wrong one. So it was a cable with several wires in it, and I cut the wrong damn one. So yeah, you gotta watch what you're doing when you don't take the thyroid medicine. Thyroid medicine is hormones. I ran into some ducks. Ran into some other ducks at the Walmart. I go, I'm a duck. They had their Oregon shirts on. I just read tonight. Title on the video. Is that my boat? Is that your boat? I can't remember what picture I put on there. I can find out on my YouTube, on my computer. My channel. This says your channel. Should say my channel. Oh yeah, that's the guy with the magic wand and the person dancing there. There's all kinds of stuff in that picture on the thumbnail. That guy's easy to find. I can tell you exactly how to find that figure in that picture. It was used in that art. And it looks just like that on the rock wall without the colors. It's all gray and stuff. Gray and black. Later, Doug. Doug gets up early in the morning. I know. He called. If you see me online at 3, 4 in the morning, I'm trying to get myself to sleep. It's not a time to call. I'm decommissioned between 1 or 2 a.m. and noon. I've been having some wild dreams too, and I think it's because I've been drinking that shungite water. It's got it transforms your water. It purifies it and transforms it, makes it like the fountain of youth water. Me too. Yeah. If you see me online late at night, I told Facebook, I said, we need a setting for Messenger to no call times. No calls between this time and this time. These are my sleeping hours. I had to block my brother because 3 days in a row. Wake me! I had trouble sleeping and finally got to sleep like 6 in the morning. And then 8 o'clock, I was like, I finally got to sleep and they call and wake me up. That really pissed me off. But he did that 3 days in a row and I said, boom, blocked. So yeah, I guess that was before New Year's too. They should know me. I told them don't call me before noon. Only people call me before noon are doctors, and you can't control when they call. For doctor appointments. When I tried to stop smoking, take off the patch when you sleep, vivid dreams. Yeah, I heard Soleimani, that Iranian general, he stopped smoking today. That guy was ordered. He was the guy that killed protesters in Iran. He's killed protesters in Iran. He's killed over 600 Americans in Iraq. Who gives a damn about that guy? He burning hell. They blew him to bits. They turned him into chicken nuggets. And Iran ain't going to do nothing. They're going to make a deal. He quit cold turkey. Yeah, he ain't going to Turkey no more. And he was the guy. He ran the operation in Benghazi that killed Christopher Stevens. The same guy that did the attack on the Benghazi embassy, pulled the one off in Baghdad, and Trump said, what, how dare him come fly into town and try and arrange more attacks? Boom, done. That guy's off the list. And that guy was worse than Bin Laden, any of them, you know? He was a terrorist. And it's like somebody said, if the New York Times would make Hitler out as a scholar and an important religious leader, you know. I mean, whose side are they on? Are they on Iran's side? Okay. Those people that want to kill Americans and have killed Americans. The guy pulled off attacks in the United States. He had assassins come here to kill a Saudi ambassador. He tried to kill him in Washington, D.C. He organized that. Curse of Oak Island. There might be something there, but it might not be down in that pit. It might be over in the swamp. There's another swamp where there's something. They found something new there. I saw. There's a video about the Shakespeare Code. I want to see this. They talk about the Da Vinci Code and the Shakespeare Code, and it's a triangulation and sacred geometry and all that stuff. But the Shakespeare Code ties to Oak Island, and you could basically decode any book using these. People don't intend to put stuff inside, but it comes out. But the Shakespeare Code, they figured that the stuff was in there that he wrote was intentional. Oh, that was good. Yeah, the Shakespeare Code. That was on YouTube. What are the good things I've seen on YouTube lately? There was stuff about the. I've been watching this astronomy guy's guy in. I guess he's Russian. He sounds very Russian. But he talks about astronomy and the galaxies and how they move along filaments and stuff. Where is his? Anton Petrov. Yeah, he's Russian. This is what happens 1 second before a black hole dies and stuff like that, And he showed there's a star that's 60 light years away that might go nova, not supernova, but nova. And when it does, 1,000 years later, it's cloud of gas and with it looks like aurora borealis, the whole, if you look at a nebula like the Orion Nebula or something, and those colors, that's how the sky would be all purple and whatever when the gas cloud envelops our solar system. We'd be in the cloud of a nebula, but they're not sure if within 50 light years it would wipe us out, but they're not sure one at 60 light years if it would suck away all our atmosphere or what. And so you better have a spaceship on Earth, basically, with your own air supply and all that shit to survive it. Oh, yeah, Langolas. We used to drive through Langolas in Oregon. At Langolas, I think that was up on the coast, north of Florence. Sometimes I accident on the phone, you click on a video. I'm looking at my history, and it's like, yeah, that was one of those that I went to click the X on a thing, and it hit the video behind it because it's not a video I would watch. Cold as stone. The stone's cold. And you getting the cold shoulder waiting for him to pass away while he holds on to the treasure chest, and you ain't getting it until he's gone. Birth of Britain. Now watch these world's most dangerous idiots. Biggest monster truck. And they have these, the pictures they put for the thumbnails are like I guess video game truckers, and they're on these impossible roads with the load hanging over the side of the cliff, and it's like but they had the in the videos, and the video, there's a school bus full of people crossing the top of like a dam, like, or whatever. The road goes through the water, and the water was up to the side panels of the bus, and it was like the tires were, completely submerged on the bus. The bus is full of people driving across this waterfall, basically, and it's like, no way I'd get off. I say, let me off of this thing. I'll go upstream, swim across up there, and get back on, I'm a good swimmer. Yeah. Okay. What are we doing? Hour 36. I vegged out earlier, and when realized 30 minutes seemed like 5. Yeah. Oh, somebody followed me on Facebook. My God. Michael Melton. Is he in the room? Yeah, I think my Facebook bro. Yeah, I got my Thoth picture off the rocks. He's in one of the other videos. He's right below the Thoth standing on the mammoth. I figured that's probably him. He's sleeping on the dash. He's being a good dog. He ate his whole bowl of food and went outside and dumped a load and come back in. Now he's sleeping. No noise from him tonight. No, he was making noise earlier. He was arguing with me about going out. He said he had to go out and poop. I went through my list. Do I got stuff on the back? Yeah, I do. Yeah, the Howard Hughes will was Melvin Dumar. And New Mexico is overlooked. Too many people been looking there. It's not New Mexico. It's been overlooked. There are too many people looked there. It ain't there. It's funny, yeah, because I know where's that. I know where the trove is. The poem does not say my treasure for all to seek, or my treasure chest for all to seek. It says my trove for all to seek, and the trove is not the treasure chest. What I put up on this? Said I need help because I posted a question on my Forrest Fenn fanatics. How much would you pay to get a hold of Toby's naked picture? So let me know if you get any takers. I'm looking for gas money myself. Yeah. I wouldn't be ashamed if somebody found my naked picture. Nothing to be ashamed of there. know an old girlfriend sent it to several of her friends, and one was another woman I knew. It's like, oh yeah, yeah. And Forrest said, if I lied to the reporter, what makes you think I wouldn't tell you the truth? Yeah, I have a 2000 Winnebago 32-foot Adventurer. Yeah, pack and eat. Yeah. I made this. I put this strap, goes over my shoulder. I put my arm through there, over here. And I keep it under my arm. It keeps it from falling out while I'm hiking through the woods. I dropped it on one search and I found it the next day. I lost my GoPro and found it, but I can find a GoPro this big in 3-foot tall grass, but I haven't found the treasure yet. You get your own. So yeah, that goes over my shoulder like that, and then I got a strap that it goes around my chest to hold it close so it doesn't swing out, and it holds it real firm there. And I can hang a knife on that strap, and so I have a knife, and you got a big machete. Yeah, and the rules for I posted a video about the rules for national forests and stuff, and you can dig a hole, but you can't. It can't be substantial. You can't dig a huge hole. You know, you can dig a hole for a fire pit. You're required to have a shovel with you. If you have a fire, you're required to have a shovel and a bucket of water. Yeah, or a shovel, a bucket, something to put the fire out with. 40-foot toy hauler. Yeah. Yeah, it's all big. It takes a big truck. I tow my car gets like 35 miles to a gallon, and I tow it behind my RV. And I got to figure out where my coolant has been going. I know the coolant's low when the heater doesn't work. And Big Whoopi put some coolant in there 2 months ago, and I've put coolant in there twice since then. And so I guess I better fill up the coolant, drive it around the block a few times, and then park it on the snow and look underneath and see where where that orange stuff is dripping out and turning the snow orange, and try and figure out where the leak is, where it's leaking from. How long in that camp spot now? I'm not in the camp spot. I have 5 acres here that I've been paying on for 2 years. I got 2 years, 4 months to go, or 2 months, 2 years, 3 months to go. Ain't not important. It was not importance in the room. Yeah, poor girl. Yeah, I gotta go back to. I got to change the appointment I have in Colorado Springs. That's why they made it a week too early. I got to make it a week after that because the doctor said 6 weeks, not 5. For my thyroid scan. It was $4,000 for 5 acres, except it's a little more because for the payments, I pay some finance charges. It was like $200 to set it up, and it's $112 a month for 52 months. Stop it, Jack. Somebody said you spoke too soon. Here he is begging to go out again, huh, Jack? What do you want? He does his whistling through his nose. That means he wants to go outside. That's cheap. That's a steal, yeah. Yeah, 5 acres, and I don't know. If I had the treasure, I'd probably sell this piece of land and get another. I'd probably move to Pagosa Springs. There's fewer potato pickers there. Hey, let Jackie out. What's my battery doing? Huh? Yeah, it went up. Oh. I gotta kick the door because ice builds up down in the bottom corner of the door from the ice along this edge of the door. The water goes condensation water and it gets down at the bottom of the door and it freezes. The corner of the door gets frozen in there, so you got to give it a kick to kick it open. The drone. Yeah, and I got I'm ready for everything here. Woo. You know what that's for, huh? It's a Geiger counter. A radiation detector. You want me to see let's see what it says. Let's see, it's off. 0, 0. Okay, X100. Wow, there's no radiation. Oh, there it goes. Let's 0 it again. I believe it's on 0. Now turn the knob. Huh. Oh. Yeah, circuit's good. Huh. No radiation whatsoever here. Pretty good. Yeah. When I was in Oregon after Fukushima, that thing was, you couldn't use the lower scale. It was off this, you had to do the second click. Higher range. And it's like 25, but I got no radiation here. It's probably my shungite. This thing here is supposed to neutralize EMFs and radiation. So maybe that's why my radiation. And I got one of these too. It's a dosimeter. See, civil defense. And let's see if we put this. Oh, which way? Oh, wrong way. Yeah, I haven't zeroed this out for years, but you can. There's a. I don't know if it'll. There's a meter in there. It says 20. But if you get 50 in one day, that's too much. This is only showing up. The scale has gone to 20, and I haven't zeroed it out for years. So radiation ain't bad here in Colorado, unless you go to Grand Junction. Love the some treasure right about now. Yeah. You're not gonna find the treasure chest out there. He has to give you the treasure chest. Power. Bloop. Yeah, he has to give you title. You can't just find it. He has to give you the title before you can have it. You can't have the title to the gold until his warm waters have halted, until his blood stops pumping. At the end of his rainbow, the end of his life is the end of the chase. He said in one interview with K-Pro and stuff, that something will end the chase. And that's his passing. Do some shows, huh? And I got a little present to send. I guess I'll send him some posters, and I got a little present for Forrest. A little kind of a one of my arch enemies made a comment that I don't think Forrest liked it either, but it's kind of a parody on that. I got a pot of gold I'm gonna send Forrest. I'll send him a pot of gold, and then I'll just trade him. I'll send it to him. I'll trade you this pot of gold for your pot of gold. I think Doug Preston, I think he's another party right to it. I think he knows. There's some other people that know. But as far as searchers, the one who knows his secret is the one who's the lead searcher. And that's the person that, are you threatening me? So you're the only one left that knows the secret? I'll take just a little piece of gold that would. The treasure chest is not going to be, if I have it, it ain't going to be, everything's going to remain part of that treasure. If I was to give anybody a piece of gold, it would be a piece of gold bought from money, with money made off of the treasure. The treasure chest, you keep it all one piece, you can make 50 million off it. You divide it up, you might be lucky to get 700,000 out of it. Well, it depends on what the other thing that goes with the treasure is. Sell it intact. I'm not selling any of it. Not selling any of it. That's not my plan. My plan is that it's an investment or whatever, and a museum or a casino or somebody is going to pay to have the privilege to exhibit it, and hopefully get an exhibition that lasts many, many years, and plan on it. There are places you can make $2.5 million a year off of it. So why sell it for $1 million if you can make $2.5 million a year on it and keep it and make the money is the way you do it. I'm not going to give it back to Forrest. He's going to be gone. He ain't going to be around anymore. When the treasures had, I need some little jewelry. My deceased husband. Should I sell it or keep it? It has. I don't know anything else. Watch a bunch of Antiques Roadshows reviews or replays. Watch old Antiques. I watch these storage hunting, these people that buy storage units, and they're tossing stuff with. Okay, so I watch these. I just started with kids. I don't know what I missed because it just reconnected. These storage hunters and all the, um, what the hells and these other channels. They buy storage units. If you want to find some treasure, go bid on some storage units. I mean, they get guns and jewelry and all kinds of stuff. But the thing is, when you watch these shows, these people don't know jack about anything. I don't know if that's gold or not. Well, they make enough money doing this stuff that they could buy the little machine that you put the gold on and you touch the probe to it and it tells you how many carats it is, or it tells you that it's a diamond or zirconia. It tells you if it's a fake or real or what stone and stuff. It'll tell you that it's an emerald or a diamond or, and there's some tools you can get to make it easier to figure out without paying somebody to give you an appraisal or whatever. Back to where we pulled 12.4. And some of the stuff they pull out of them, you wouldn't think was worth anything, and they make a killing on some. Some of the stuff is. People throw away good stuff. That you watch Antiques Roadshow. And where did you come across this treasure? It was in the dumpster. They pull like Picasso out of the dumpster, or some famous painting, $50,000 painting they pulled out of a dumpster. And don't know. So you got to research what you come across. Back to work. We got to pull 12, 14 day. Yeah. My kid works 12-hour days. A little more than 12-hour days. They made him a sergeant and promoted him. Boats and hose. Boats and hose. Are you going to Vegas, Lake Mead, or what, Jay? and you're not gonna, treasure ain't gonna be found on the cat. You got to go out and search. These rock formations are what you go there, and the rocks are looking back at you. He's talking about going alone into the woods and the things you see when you're alone in the woods, And if you're out there at night, things get spooky, and you put your light on the rock and there's this big face looking at you. I showed some, I don't know, Mennonite or I don't know, they're Mormons, Mennonites, whatever. They got there's a lot of them here. There's a lot of Mexicans and Mennonites, M&Ms. When you go to Walmart here, it's it's about 10% Mennonites, 50% Mexicans, and and the rest are from all over the place. And I was talking to a guy. I went to Taco Bell today and was talking to a guy there that had this nice little Corvette. I told him, I want a C8. I want a C8 Corvette with the two big wide racing stripes done in gold leaf with gold metal flake paint on top of it. Yeah, and I don't know if what good with gold is. I think a dark green and gold, forest green, and then put gold metal flake, clear gold metal flake on top of the green. 20 pair of children's shorts. Yeah. I seen these people. This guy buy a storage unit, and all it was, they open the door and there's these big boxes, and they could figure out that they were bathtubs, and there was like 80 of these bathtubs that were $600 a piece, and he buy the unit for $400. I mean, just one of them, he'd make his money back on one of them. And he found a dealer that bought them all. You got thousands of dollars, from buying it's better than the casino, I'll tell you that. and you can get some storage units for nobody wants it $5, but you go in there and there might be diamonds or gold in there. You don't know, in a box or something. I want a Pinto. I had a Pinto. Yeah, there's a story about that Pinto. I bought it for $100. Spun out, went off the road, and hit a rock underneath that bent the cross member under the engine, pushed the engine against the firewall, kind of, and I backed out of there and drove it home. And I sold it for $200, the 72 Pinto. No, I want that. I want that the mid-engine Corvette. I had 4 mid-engine Fieros, and and when I worked at General Motors in 1977, they brought in a prototype mid-engine Corvette. It's called the Aerovet, and you look the back window. You look through the back window, and the engine was down there. But go look up Jay Leno's C8 Corvette convertible video and look at that car. Oh, it's a hardtop convertible. And while you're driving, you can put the top down in there. While you're driving under 35 miles an hour, you can, and the cover over the engine lifts and the roof folds down in there, and then it closes back up. That's a badass Corvette. No, I want depending on what, these new mid-engine Corvettes, they're just coming. They haven't, people can order them, but they haven't, I don't think they delivered any of them yet. And the convertible is even later. And so, but you don't ever want the first year model of a new design, a new configuration like that, the mid-engine, So you want the second or third year of that design when they got all the bugs worked out. Oh yeah, it looks like a Ferrari. That's a badass Corvette. The mid-engine Corvette, and it's got a trunk in the front, and after when you have the top down, you still have the trunk in the back of this thing. It's a separate deck lid. So there's a lid, one for the engine in the back, and then there's a trunk in the back. I guess with a spoiler on it. Trunk Pacers, my friend had a comment. Yeah, I had a friend with a comment. 76, 77, 78, I had a 68 Camaro convertible RS. The Ford GT broke the 3 record. Ford GT. I had Ford Panteras, but 289 comment. 289 comment. I had a 65 Nova SS with had a 327 with 202 heads. That's the size of the intake valves, or 2.02 inches. And the piston's only 4 inches across. 1980 Cutlass. Yeah, my mother had a Bonneville. That's kind of like a Cutlass. I wiped out a Cutlass. I had a 1961 Volkswagen Beetle that I bought for $100, and I was going down the main drag through Fremont, California. It's 3 lanes, Fremont Boulevard, 3 lanes each way, an island in the middle, frontage roads on the outside, you know, and I was in the middle lane in a 40-mile-an-hour, you know, and this woman in a Cutlass coming on the side street, she had a stop sign. I didn't. I was through traffic. There was no stop sign for us, you know, and so she pulled out right in front of me, and I took out her front fender, her driver door, the back door, and the rear quarter panel. Wiped out the whole side of that old 88 or Cutlass, whatever it was. You know, it was an Oldsmobile. And first thing I remember after the accident was somebody giving me my license back. I was like, well, you know, wait, when did I give you that? You know, how'd you get that? You know? And because I had, you know, hit this thing with a Volkswagen Beetle, and I went across, and my passenger door in the car was bent outward from my shoulder hitting. Boom! I hit that, bent that door outward. You know, because all they had was a lap belt in them old Beetle. And a week later, the cop that took the report on the accident caught me. I was driving my, I had it in the middle. There's a Niles Canyon, and the creek comes through Niles Canyon. I think it's Alameda Creek comes through Niles Canyon. And I was had the car, I was driving it in the creek and the same cop caught me there with that car driving it in the creek. He said, I thought the brakes were, oh, it's just the line came off, and I put the line back on and put more brake fluid in. It's fine, you know? But the front wheels were, one was a little ahead of the other one. The axle was bent a little bit. Yeah, I told him I was seeing if it floats. Because I was driving out in the creek, do a circle, come back onto the beach, and I was just doing circles in the creek. Little car isn't getting knocked out. I did that one time. I woke up watching ceiling tiles go by, moving to the ER. Yeah, I guess it wasn't out that long. And I had that car. I had home, and I, you know, it was it wasn't really that drivable, you know. So when we unbolted the body from the chassis and stuff, and lifted the body off and put it behind the rest of the car. And we lived on a big street. It was almost as big as Flint. We lived on a Blaco Road, and there was, it had two lanes each direction on the mains with frontage roads on it, you know. And we lived there, so it was like 100 yards across the street. It was a huge street, and so there's a lot of traffic on the main road driving by, and some Volkswagen enthusiasts seen us taking the body off and stopped, and I got $300 for take a car I paid $100 for, wrecked it, and then sold it for $300 to two. I sold one guy the body, and another guy bought the chassis, you know, turned it into a dune buggy. Old school muscle. Yeah, I had a 68 convertible Camaro with 350 in it. It was an RS, but the 327 went out, and I put a new 350 in it. I got two Dodge Comets. Dodge Comet. Yeah. Watch for them shooting stars. What color? Oh, when I bought it, it was yellow, and then I got it painted blue. Right after I got it painted, I was in Vallejo, and light turned green. I'm crossing the intersection, and boom, woman hit me from the left side. And so then I had insurance on it, of course, and then they painted it it was a light Corvette yellow color. It was a like a 78 Corvette yellow. It was a lighter kind of yellow, kind of like the top part of this yellow instead of the heavy yellow over here, you know. It was a kind of a creamy yellow color, and I had some stripes on it. And when the dealership put the new front end on my car, on that Camaro, you know, it had an RS front end. They gave me an RS SS front end with the SS hood, the injector hood, and all that. It was nice, man. I was going to Combat Systems Technical Schools Command. I was going data system school, Vallejo at the Navy station there, the submarine base. It's a training for Combat Systems Technical Schools Command. And then after 6 weeks of, I went 6 weeks there to that, and each week they took the bottom 10% out of here each week, bottom 10%. And so, you know, the class that might have 30 people in it when it starts, 6 weeks later has 15 people in it, you know, and by the end of the class, there's probably only 2 people out of that 30 that they actually give that. So they sent me to gunner's mate school in Chicago, and I said, double blazes, Navy. This isn't what I signed up for. I didn't sign up to be a gunner's mate. Chevy. Yeah, I do all Chevys. That's what I have now. My car is a Chevy. No, I don't like Dodge. Just Chevys. No Fords, no Toyotas, no Nissans, none of them. Just Chevys. Maybe a GMC. 5.3 bulletproof. Chevy Dodge, GMC 150. Yeah, drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "That'll be the day when I die." That's Forrest. He's singing, "That'll be the day when I die," when you get the treasure chest. It might be a few days later. Yeah. Yeah, I got a Chevy Sonic. It's a 2013 Sonic. And it gets great mileage, but somewhere it's leaking engine coolant. Oh, I've drove my Chevy's been to Florida and back, and yeah, I don't have any trouble driving my car. My car's never had any major repair. The worst that happened, I got a rock in the brakes, and it was dragging on the. And all you, if you're on these dirt roads and you get a rock in your front calipers and brakes, just put it in reverse and it'll pull the rock out. Yeah, I've towed my car through Texas a couple times. Went all the way across to Florida. I guess when I came back, yeah. Well, I went through Grand Canyon and 40. Then I went down to Roswell and I cut down to 20, Interstate 20 and across over to San Antonio, down to Houston and into Louisiana. And I went down to, my son was in Florida then, near Eglin, and went down there to visit for a couple months. It's kind of, Florida, it's very hard to find a place to stay for free in your RV. Like Walmart, they don't allow you at Walmarts and all that. Florida's a bunch of tight asses with RVs. Even the state parks and stuff, they don't have much free RVing. I've been to all 50 states. North Dakota was the last state. Rhode Island and North Dakota were the hard ones. They're the unusual ones to hit. They were the hard ones. When I was a kid in high school in 72, so I was like 14, we took a trip across country, went across the northern part and came back on the southern part. And then in 78, we took, me and my brother went with my mother on another trip to, her family was in Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. And we went back to visit them and stuff. And on the way, we were going through Kansas and we stopped to get some lunch, or we stopped to eat lunch along the road. And there were these plants with these 5-pointed leaves growing on all over alongside the road. Me and my brother picked some of them plants, and 5 miles down the road, turned out some farmer called the cops and turned us in, and we all went in. They took us to the little jail in this little town in the middle of Kansas, and me and my brother were the only ones in there that weekend. And my mother had to wait for Monday to bail us out. And it was like $500 fine, Kansas, for ditchweed. Yeah. And here's my mother not around anymore. No, when we came, because we had to pay the bail, and we had to come back on our way back on our vacation to go to court for the trial thing. And while we were camped at this campsite along it was a river tributary of the Mississippi, real close to the Mississippi or something. And we were at this campground, and me and my brother, we got a little baggie, and we stuffed the baggies in our swimsuits, and we swam across the river because there were some plants over there, and we got some off the plants there. Nobody's seen us, and we did like commando style back across the river with our heads real low. Nobody knew what we were doing on the other side of the river. And it was no good. Just no good ditchweed. My tea's boiling. It's 2 hours and 18 minutes. That's a long one. Yeah, it's rope weed for making sails and canvas, for making burlap bags. The bees might get a buzz on it, but that's why bees buzz. The beekeepers, they put burlap, that's hemp burlap, they put in the pot, in their smoke pot that they use to make the bees go, oh yeah, okay, do whatever you want, man. Kansas, I drive around Kansas now. If you stopped in Colorado and you got to go through Oklahoma, they have at least medical there, So they're So yeah, I'm thinking I'm getting close to done here. Favorite state? Oh, my favorite state, Colorado. Right here. I don't particularly like the government in Colorado nowadays. I I first lived in Colorado in '89. Um, I came here in May of '89 to get away from some bad influences in California. You know, 'cause I had a girlfriend in California, and her ex husband was into some. The DEA was watching her ex husband, and she still has. And I got to get away from this woman, and I left California, and I came to Colorado, and I lived downtown Denver. I was renting a room in a boarding house for 2 weeks, and then I got a job working for some apartments doing maintenance, and then I got a job in Boulder working at IBM, testing IBM CAD software, because I knew I knew drafting and stuff like that and computers, and I had to build. When you work at IBM, they have you build your own computer. So that's where I learned how to build computers and stuff. Oh, it's on New Mexico. It's overlooked. Too many people are looking there, and it's not there. There's too much emphasis on New Mexico and too much on them ones up there. But what did he say about Colorado? He didn't say anything about Colorado. It's hush hush. Yeah, IBM up in Boulder. It's between Boulder and Longmont. I worked there, and the engine. I had a 72, 71. It was a 71 or a 73. I don't know. It was a Camaro, and I had done body work on it to get, and then I painted it a pewter gray, and I had the Corvette hood on it, and had this. It had the split bumper on the front, so I put a Z28 on the grill, and I put the ones that go on the sides. I put them up on the hood scoop, and so anyhow, the engine on that blew up on middle of December on a freezing day out near Thornton, and so I had to have it towed. And then I ended up towing that car to Washington and sold it there to some guy. I used to go to them, them little miniature Indy car racetracks. I went to them. It was called Little Indy out in Milpitas in California. And I went out there, and their little race car, and you hit the brakes, you kind of fish. I was drifting the corners, and and I broke I broke their track record by 10 seconds. And they couldn't believe me and had me do it again. And I didn't do as good this second, but I had broke their track. They were jealous because I was a better driver than them was the problem. Oh, those little cars, they were little automatics. You just push the pedal and go. There was no shifting in them. It's just a little track, no big straightaways. You just doing a lot of S-turns. But yeah, when we were kids, we used to go up in the hills and play chase on the mountain roads. And we go riding in my friend's 72 Cadillac. That thing was like a boat. And we go up Morrison Canyon Road and stuff. And there was up Niles Canyon, there was a road that went up along the ridge on top of the hills between the Bay Area and San Ramon and all that. And we go up there. That's where we'd go when we were a kid. At Christmas, my dad would take us. We had a station wagon, so all us kids and my dad, we'd get in the car and we go up this hill up in the hills above the Bay Area, above Fremont and Union City, whatever, up in the hills, and we'd find trees that had mistletoe in it, and we'd go up there, and my dad climb up in the tree and he'd cut mistletoe down, and we fill up the back of the station wagon with mistletoe, and then we go home, and we had baggies, and we made little pieces of mistletoe with ribbon and bells, and put them in the baggies, and then we'd go to the white front, we'd go sit in front of the stores at Christmas and sell mistletoe to make our Christmas money to buy Christmas presents. That's resourceful, you know. You don't see, oh, I don't have any money to buy anything. Well, you know, go out and do something. Or, you know, I was selling mistletoe when I was like 10, 12, up from probably 10 to 14 years old. I was selling mistletoe at the stores at Christmas. Okay, have a good one, Thor girl. Thor girl, really a girl? Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to sign off too because it's 2.5 hours. I'll do it. I'll give another 4 minutes. Yeah. I usually do my stream the same time the Uptown Grow Lab is on, and so I miss his Monday streams. But it's a fun place to hang out. Just nobody has any, you know. So, oh, yeah, buzzed. How are you? I'm buzzed. No, we went up halfway up Niles Canyon between Niles and Sonol. There's a road that goes to the north where the White Witch would be hitchhiking. We go up there. And one time me and my brother, we went up there where, well, why not go a place to throw some plants up, and we grew marijuana up in the mountains, up in the hills above the Bay Area there. We grew some plants, and one day we went up and got the plant, and had the plant, you know, just like a plant in the front passenger seat of the car driving home, and people are like, yeah. Yeah, I'd have to look on my map program to know what road that was. I know Morrison Canyon Road is between Niles and 680. And one time we were coming down 680, coming back from fishing, and there was a tanker truck that had gone off the highway and exploded. He took the off ramp and crashed at the bottom of the off ramp when he should have just stayed on the highway because it was nice and straight, you know, and land leveled off. He was right at the bottom of the grade instead of going flatter out on the highway straight ahead. He took a turn off and blew up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And my neighbors grow it. I got friends that grow. I was thinking about just hanging out here and drive up for my searches this coming season. Paloma Reservoir Road. Oh, Palomares Road is the road. Yeah, it's real close to where a friend of mine died. He went through he didn't make the turn. There was like an S curve underneath the train trestle. He went straight into the train trestle. I had some close calls, but it was some close. Phew, man, I missed that wall. Yeah, because we used to race around in our cars. And I'd go to the drag strip. My station wagon, my 65 Impala wagon, I pulled 17 seconds with it. It was pretty quick for a 65 Impala wagon, big old tank. I called it the Bondo Express because it had so much Bondo on it. All right. I'm about done. Oh, I didn't know there was another train track. Took a shortcut there. That's a tunnel. Yeah. There's 2 sets of rails go through Niles Canyon. I just see all the crosses by the side of the road. Yeah. Where that girl died, there's a blaze. She doesn't have a cross. She has a round sign that's dark with bright red flowers in it. It looks like a blaze. It's like, how did she know to put a blaze there? Or how did they know? And I told the people that her family, I said, it's a very spiritual place. There's lots of good spirits in this. Well, even though she fell in the water, but the spirits are at the bottom of the well. All the spirits are at the bottom of the well, down deep at the bottom of the well. They throw the coins, they make a wish, give the money. They're giving the money to the spirits to bring good health. And the spirits are at the bottom of the well. That's where your coin halts, at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to sign off. I'm done. Never considered that. Yeah. The water halts at the bottom. The warm water halts when it turns hot at the bottom, at the source. The spirits are at the source of the water. And the source is at the bottom of the hot spring. That's where the spirits are. It's as above, so below. There's spirits up there and there's spirits down there. Spirit in the sky, where you gonna go when you die? I'm gonna sign off now. They're gonna take me up to the spirit in the sky.